Guys, I'm so fucking pissed. I am literally so pissed. So today's another Q&A podcast session. And I literally spent the last half an hour, the last hour and a half. I just spent the last hour and a half trying to figure out a nice, cool, fun little position I can put myself, a little different viewpoint on the couch because I love my couch. It's really a futon. And I wanted to do a little because I wanted to change like Q&As are going to be on the couch, and then maybe like not maybe like the Sophie and the Road sessions episodes would be on this table, like what I'm saying down here. But I just faced so many fucking issues. I faced so many issues, and I couldn't do it. Thank you guys for joining us today. Joining me. I keep saying us because remember the bitch I had in my room, but I don't get that no more. But today we're doing Q&A as I did state before, and one of the interesting topics that I've been wanting to talk about is my viewpoint. I'm gonna say car at this moment because it's in my situation, but I think I'm gonna maybe broaden it up a little bit to more say it's just so fucking noisy today. I'm so sorry, guys. But I'm gonna broaden it up to why I never look at a vehicle the same. Now, there's many different aspects that one can look at this, or we can discuss, or I'm going to discuss today. One being independence, one being safety, one being, of course, transportation. Um, and we're gonna dive into it. Okay. So why I never look at the car the same way again? In my perspective, I mean, honestly, starting back to when I first started thinking of the idea of traveling this way, um, because I looked at a car. I mean, even from the beginning, the car that I started this trip with was one that I bought myself. The majority of it, I'm gonna say 80% myself. My dad did help me. My parents did help me out a little bit in the beginning in regards to the car payments, but after a year and a half ish, they stopped. And the lease, not the lease, the payments were for about 7 to 8 years. So I was in there, and we lived in quite an area that was quite expensive in regards to insurance. So just to give you that aspect to it. But the reason why I bought that car in the first place, or why, yeah, I'm gonna say why I bought it in the first place, because I mean it was my choice at the end of the day, was basically for independence. Now I am someone who super was like very motivated to become as independent as possible, as quickly as possible. And I mean, I started working at quite a young age. And I mean, technically 11, not out of my own will. And then 15 out of my own will, working for a photography company. And so um, at that point, I mean, I bought this car that I did the majority of my travels with. RIP to Miss Antonia because she doesn't exist anymore to me. but but I got that car when I was 18, 17, 18. Yeah, 17, 18. And at that point I had multiple jobs. I mean, to the peak of my out of the stress of life. In my route, like out of like my schedule at one point, for a couple of months, maybe a year and a half ish, I had three jobs, and I also had full-time school and university. And so I think it was a mixture of me getting tired of having to depend on people to take me places, because with it being such a tight schedule, I really had to depend on either my dad, mostly my dad, or my mom to drop me off at the train station, at the bus station. Um, and so, and I mean, I was working those jobs on purpose to make some money and to pay off school a little bit, but also with the end point of having a car. And so when I finally got that car, I literally was like somebody else. And because my school was so far, it was about a 2 hour drive one way. So imagine. Um, I really got to, I don't know, I feel like those 2 hours, either in silence, either listen to music, either listen to a podcast, really like shaped me of who I am right now. And I mean, till this day I still enjoy that, and I miss it so much right now because I don't got a vehicle right now. But I love that, and I felt so independent. And I also realized that people were depending on me for some things because I was the oldest sibling with a car, so I was taking sometimes my siblings to their activities. um what was I gonna say? But yeah, it was a really big sign of independence for me. And I think I wouldn't have been able to maintain that schedule if I didn't have a vehicle of my own. So it for me in the beginning of having a vehicle or looking at a vehicle was a sign of independence. So I think that's where it first stemmed off. Now, before I started traveling, what did a car look represent to me? Oh my God, I'm so distraught, and it looks so dark. I'm like, it's nothing else. I'm babbling right now. My heart is racing because I'm getting mad at the situation. I thought I was gonna have it figured out, but I didn't. Um, but but yeah, I think it was always a sign of independence. Um, so when I first started looking I mean, again, when I've mentioned this quite some time before too, before I even thought about the idea of even traveling in my car, that happened like years later. But before even like coming to the point of saying, yes, I am going to make this decision and travel this way, I was like 5 years into following people who were living that lifestyle, right? Whether it be a car, a van, or a bus, a school bus. They all always interested me. And I saw that life as like so much freedom, like um, so much power in um, changing your circumstance in that kind of way. And it seems so accessible to me because as someone, and I don't just mean accessible financially, but as someone who, how am I going to say this? Like, I don't have a problem. Um, I can deal with like, and I'm gonna put the worst of the worst, I guess. I mean, it could be worse, but this is what I immediately think of. Like, I don't have an issue with if I have to sleep on a floor. I don't have an issue if I have to be uncomfortable for a small period of time, like really uncomfortable. Okay. I have no problem like having to complete the necessities that I have to do, even if they may seem weird to other people. I really don't. And I say that because as I've done this lifestyle, um, of living this way, I feel like there are a lot of people who would not be comfortable in um, lowering their standard, I guess. It sounds kind of bad the way I say it, but maybe I just have low standards in that kind of way. But I mean like losing their commodity and like losing their comfortability in their lifestyle, like in that sort of sense. You know what I mean? Like people, I know people, I know people who wouldn't even dare sleep on a floor. I'm sorry. Wouldn't even dare sleep on the floor. They wouldn't even dare eat something like weird to them. that they don't like, you know what I mean? Like something that not common. You know, those people like I know them and I love them, but I guess I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I think I'm just super okay with it because I know that some people do live that way life to life, and I don't think that they're any less because of that. And I know that sometimes in this lifestyle that I've had, in my experiences, I've had people look at me differently because I have chosen this lifestyle, and they think like, "Ooh, she gonna do that?" Like, "Oh no." And they don't look at the way I look at it. Like, I'm like, "Oh my God, you're exploring, like you're doing something new." Like, you know what I mean? And I think it might be a little bit on it being me being a woman, um, because um, throughout the years, as I've come to terms with my lifestyle, the only people that have brought up that they know people who do what I do and travel the way that I do, are all men. Legitimately, are all men, and they say it like with such like I guess pride and stuff like that. But when it comes to a woman, they're like, oh no. Like they're like, oh, she had to do that? Like, does she have to do it that way? Or like, oh, what made her make that decision? Like, you know what I mean? I kind of give a little bit of pity. Like it looks like I had to do this. Um, which in reality I didn't have to. Like I have a full-time job, and I make pretty okay money, and if I wanted to I could have comfortably, well, not comfortably because the economy is so fucking bad right now, but I would have been able to rent out a room if I really had to and have a washroom and shit and have those like regular commodities. Sure, I would have been uncomfortable sharing with people. But at the end of the day, we all make our decisions. So this was my we all decide on which hard to take, and this is the hard I decided to take. Which in reality to me, I don't see it as that hard, but I mean, there are things that I've had to overcome. So it be what it be. So I'm okay with it. How did my car become more than just a way to get point A to point B? Um, the funny thing is too, like when I think about a car and I think about traveling, my my family and I would take I mean we've done probably a dozen trips to um, the United States, and we've gone to different states, and sometimes we go to the same ones. Even like sometimes if you think about it, we lived in Toronto, we lived in Vaughan, in Canada and Ontario, for those who don't know. And even trips to like Niagara Falls, if you know what that is, it can be about 4 hours. And so my mom is really funny because, and again, also having family living in another country and traveling with your whole family through plane. So I think my mom played a big role in the fact of like always trying to keep us entertained, comfortable when it came to snacks, when it came to like games or whatever the fuck, or watching movies in the small little DVD player that we had. Um, and so when I think about traveling in a car, I think of like those like root memories those core memories that I have with me, my siblings, and my family. Being in like the back of a big ass van, and we'd all watch this DVD that we were like planning for the week to watch on this trip, or we'd play games. And we get upset and fight, whatever the fuck, it's as a family does sometimes too, as Hispanics do. But it was just so fun. I think we forcing us, I guess, in a way, forcing us to be in this small little space for hours at a time. Um, I'm like literally tearing up right now. Thank God my period's almost done. but but I think it's just so beautiful, and yeah, I those a lot of situations become uncomfortable when one of us has to go to the washroom, or one of us didn't feel good, or you know what I mean, and or one of us got upset, and the you can't escape the car, you can't escape the van when you're upset, and everyone's like kind of awkward, and like especially with my dad. and he'd be like, he's because he's the one who like basically drives. My mom sometimes drove, but my dad was like the big ass like I'm committed to driving all those kilometers, and especially when my dad was mad, we're all like oh, and we had to go to the washroom. It was so funny. We're like, papa. And he always turn around and be like, ¿Qué lo que, Sofía? ¿Qué lo que? Like, he's like, what is it? I'm like, I have to go pee. And we all be scared. So I think from what I remember too, I think like one of my little brothers, like, can you ask him because I'm scared. He's like, I don't want to ask him. But I think it's so fucking funny, and I think it's so beautiful in its own little way. To think about a trip like that, to have those core memories. And so, um, I guess I innately like with took those memories with me, even in my travels these days too. Like, um, I think it's just such a beautiful thing, and most of the time, to be honest, like the journey was just as fun as the destination, and I think that in itself is so beautiful. But again, I think it just those big ass core memories. I think it's so fucking fun. I'm gonna be like touching the screen because it's gonna piss me off, innit? It's gonna piss me off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit like maybe on edge, a little bit. I don't know. But let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next question. What are some unforgettable moments that happened because of my car? Hmm. First of all, the ones I can really think about that I was like, yo, I would have never seen that if I had never been in my car legitimately driving was all the moose sightings. Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, I love moose. I love animals. And to one point, I literally got so close, so like 4 feet away to a moose, literally watching them eat, literally watching them run, literally seeing like how big they are. And I'm like, if they look big to me from this far away in my car, imagine how big they are when you go see them in person. Like that's not that I would ever condone that because that's not safe. Um, but there's so many memories I've made in my car, which is why I get so sad that my Antonia RIP to her, man, because like I miss that bitch, honestly. And I, it was such like it was a really impactful moment when I had to say goodbye to her, and because it was my car since I was 17, 16, and I had her for over 12, 11 years. And she was so reliable, so reliable. Sure, she had her issues, but so reliable. And I learned so much in regards to responsibility, in regards to like treasuring my independence, in regards to um, value placing. I mean, taking care of things that I value in that sort of sense, and especially now with my whole traveling, she literally became my home for years, my home, and she literally became my safety net, because if anything ever happened, I knew that I could get back in there and go continue on my life. And I say that because like I've jumped around visiting family. um and I was literally thinking, I was like, if I get upset at you, one of my family members, if I get upset, I'm just gonna fucking go back. Like I have like no issue. Like I'm not feeling forced to stay in that position. And so, I mean, I'm kind of jumping into another question here that I was gonna answer, but that 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 safety net that it provided me, as a woman, as these ever changing times, I think it's so important to have that, because I think also as a woman, it's very common, or at least it has been more common, for women to settle because of safety. Whether it was because we couldn't vote, whether it was because we couldn't work, whether it was like, you know what I mean? Like all those reasons of like, we can't do these things and I need a man to do it. So I have to settle for a man in order for me to live many times and either to find success. and so they had to for safety reasons a lot of times. So um, and I think the viewpoint that I get, especially with older individuals, they still, I think, kind of have that. Like, they still think like, is that safe for you? And a lot of times I think about it. I don't want to get into the discussion with them because I'm like, you ain't gonna understand, like honestly. But like, I feel like it's the most safest thing I can do because I'm not forcing myself to commit with someone who, I mean, let's just say commit with someone who I'm literally settling for. Like, I think that's so fucking sad. I think that's so sad. And and I think it's beautiful the way that I have visually a car, a vehicle. Like, I can literally see it as like safety. It's so weird. And I think it's something that I think about a lot, especially not having a car right now. Especially not having a car right now at this moment. And even though I am in an apartment, even though I do have the basic necessities and commodities of the normal, quote unquote, normal individual has, I still feel like that little irk. I'm like, I can still like not get away. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. So, needless to say, I really miss it. Would it bring more problems if I had one right now at this moment? Yes. Like, God works in mysterious ways. In mysterious ways. But I just I guess it just had to happen that way, honestly, and I don't question it. Lord Jesus, I don't question it because honestly, I don't think I would have came here in the drastic time frame that I did if I had a vehicle, and I think it even helped me even more not having one because I was like, they'll literally have nothing that I have to financially, in that sort of sense, that heavy financially, take care of. Because if you have a car, I mean, you gotta think about insurance. In Canada, it's illegal to drive without insurance. And I have to think about storing it, and I gotta think about like, and Canada snows, my guy. I gotta think about where I gotta keep it and stuff like that, and if it's towed away, and like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't even imagine. And I can't even think about bringing it over here because that's too far. But yeah. What's something that I notice now when I see someone else's car that I've never noticed before? Yo, oh my God, what a fucking good ass question. Honestly, and it's so funny because when I first started thinking about the layout of my car and um, how I was going to put my bed, like the routine of me, like the daily things you gotta do when you're living, you know, change your clothes, brushing your teeth, taking showers, your dirty clothes, your food, storing your electrical things in a safe place, you know, because if you see stuff, you're gonna people wanna like have intention or have a more reason to possibly steal. And so it's so funny because fuck, when did I think about this? I remember I was in Toronto and I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a guy and he's an electrician. Shout out to you, Luca. Um and I was talking fuck, it was so weird. I don't know how it came up. Honestly, I don't remember how it came up. I think we were just fucking around one night, like just chilling. And we're good buddies. And he was like putting something in his car because he had it somewhere similar-ish to mine at that moment. And legitimately, he took out he had to like because he does like electrician, right? So he has like construction-ish stuff. And he had like this big ass pole thing that he had to do. And so he's like, because I was in front of his house and I went to go see him, whatever, and he had his car open. It was like a summertime, and he was like talking. He was like putting it in his car, thinking, "How am I gonna put this inside?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take off, like click on the back of the back seat because it was like a click thing that where the near the headrest, and he like lowered down the back seat, and I was like, oh my god, I did not know you can do that. He's like, yeah, yours can do that probably too, and I was like, no fucking way. So that literally changed my whole layout. Legitimately changed the whole layout of my planning on my car living. I literally was like so shookity. And so that's a little bit of an example of like when I look at a car, I'm thinking, and when I look at something new that I don't know about a car, I'm thinking about possibilities of what I can use to utilize that little special little like something something. So in this case, it was that. But there are have been other scenarios as well where where what else was it? The seat, you know, like moving the seat and stuff like that, like things I don't even know, like that I can remove or like and put it back, like even like the headrests. I honestly did not know I can take them off. Like I literally did not know I could take them off, and I realized that like halfway through my trip too. So it just changed. Like I'm always looking for like what is something new I can find out about the similar type of vehicle that I can use for the future or for like right now, depending on the situation. So I think that's really funny. And even when I look at like car accessories these days too, like when they pop up, not right now because I'm not looking at that stuff, but before when I was traveling, of course our phones are listening to us. When I was looking at like car accessories, again, thinking, and I'm thinking like more than like, even though let's just say for example, there was like a car net thing that you can use, and I'm like trying to think outside the box of like what else can I use this Carnet for? Like even like aside from its intended use. You know, I'm thinking outside that box. I'm trying to be creative. Because in the car camping community, there are so many creatives out there, and I've learned so much. So I think that's where it's like building up and stuff. Really, really cool. If my car can tell a story of the last few years of my life, what would it say? Oh, I think let me repeat the question in case I said it too fast. If my car could tell the story of the last few years of my life, what would it say? I think she'd be like, bitch, you broke me. Bitch, you broke me to the core. Antonia, if you were to speak to me and tell me the experience of me as an owner, um, I think she'd tell me, you love onions, don't you? I cook a lot, especially the last couple of months in my travels in that vehicle, especially with Antonia. Um, I love cooking, and my mom bought me this little like cute little pan thing that I can electrical pan thing that came so fucking clutch, and I still have it in my storage in Alberta. Um, and I love onions. I say it all the time. I think the secret to my youth is onions and garlic. I think everything I eat has onions and garlic. And I understand there is a smelly part to it. Um, but I accepted it and I love it. So I didn't give a fuck. And sometimes I have to open up those windows. Sometimes I smell like it. I remember my friend, um, again, the same friend. I was at a hockey game and I was showing him my layout of my car because at that point I've been living in it for a couple of months already, and I was cooking too. And he goes like, "Smells like you've been cooking in here." Like, yes. I was like, as long as it don't smell like that ganja though. As long as it don't smell like that ganja though, we're good. But yeah, I think that's what she would tell me. And I think she'd also tell me, you snore as fuck. I am a big snorer. Um, and I think about that snoring, and I think like those summers that I spent sleeping, because I've had moments like I've been in places where I've had to sleep with the windows closed, um, or like very slightly cracked, like you know what I mean, just for like ventilation. But I imagine those summers where I've had to have them at like a little bit more. Of course, not all the way for safety reasons, a little bit more. And I think I'm like, I don't know, but for sure, someone has heard me sleeping in my car because I'm a big ass snorer, dude. And I don't think about it that much when I'm like in the parking lot at like where truck stops are because the sound of the trucks, lots of people, lots of men have them on all night. Um, I'll have them on all night, so you hear the engine, and there's more rustle and bustle, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm a deep sleeper when it comes to noise. That don't bother me. Again, it's always light and like touching. Um, and I'm like, yo, for sure, someone heard me though. Like just passing by, they hear like. I even like have people tell me, and I'm so embarrassed. Like, of course, I just don't know. I can't like I feel like I can't control that. You know what I mean? I don't. There's even times where I've woken myself up with my own snores. So, um, it's something that I've had to live with and learn. But yeah, that's I think that's what she would say. So onions, she like cooking, and her snores are loud. And I think another thing, just to end that off in the last answering that question, I think the last thing she'd say is, I think the last thing she'd say is, I think honestly, I think she'd say thank you because she has seen as many different things as she's seen me, you know, and as she's seen me, no, that's not what I meant to say. She's seen as many things as I've seen. She's been there through all the experiences, you know. Um and uh and she was a big ass safety net for me. And I think as us individuals, I don't know why I'm placing so much like personality into a vehicle. It's literally a thing. Um But I really like took care of it as if it was like a I don't know how to say like it was, I know it's an inanimate object, but damn, I loved her so much, man. Like, um, and I think I gave her a good couple of last years, um, especially exploring Alberta, which is where I left her. But we went to Banff and all those sights of the mountains. I mean, like, fuck, it was just so beautiful. and that's literally her last, it was like I guess her last little hurrah of just in the open road, you know. It was nice and a nice summery time, and uh that fresh air. I don't know, I'm just getting so sentimental about this vehicle. But when you come to this point in life where you just treasure so much traveling this way, and you say thank you to the things that kept you alive even though they don't have quote unquote feelings, um but everything's energy, you know. And that car gave me good ass energy, you know. And I've met so many people because of her, and I've gotten so far and become a different person. I'm tearing up right now. But it was just beautiful. I think it's just so beautiful. Even before my travels, before me deciding to become a car nomad, um, a car, especially in those trips that I was talking about those 2 hour one way trips to school, um, and either the one way to work, you know, even though it's just those 20 minutes, it literally was like a therapy session. I am someone who likes to, I guess, talk to themselves. And because the car has such a great acoustics, a great like buffer, it also helped me realize that I wanted to sing. As I said before, I am also an artist. Um, I sing, and I'm a singer songwriter. There we go. And as someone who felt very pressured to fit in this box, into a box, and singing was not part of it, and traveling this way was not part of it either. I think a car, even before I started therapy, a car felt like therapy. I was talking to myself. I was processing emotions. I was playing out scenarios. It was just a lot. It was a lot, and again, my car Antonia has heard everything that I've gone through. Any any hardship, any thing I had to process, deaths, breakups, separations, heart fights, even happy moments, even happy moments. Um, I even talked to them. I would talk to myself out loud in the car because no one could hear me. I could scream on top of my lungs, especially when you're in the highway. No one could hear me, and I would sing to the top of my lungs because no one could hear me. And I think I really found my voice in the car. And I think you can ask any of my friends because I was a DD designated driver for a couple of years because I was one of the first out of my group, my friends, to have a car. That I would always say that I would want to drive because I enjoy it and I love playing my music. I loved directing where to go, and I guess that sense of control that I have or I had. Um, Especially when I felt so out of control again, being pushed into a box that I did not want to be in. It was the one thing that I could control, and without going into much of it, during my hardest times, um, I tried to take control to the extreme sometimes. Um, but again, I passed all of them because of the beauty of talking things out loud and processing them to myself. That thing that I've built just because I feel like I couldn't talk to someone depending on the topic. You're right. So I just felt like I was really different. So I mean, I'm gonna feel like I got into a tangent, but a car. When I look at a car, I don't even see it as a car anymore. It's like a sounding board with my own echoes, and and I've learned to talk to myself as if I was my best friend, and I think that's beautiful. And I still follow that till this day. Um, but I think a car is more than a car to me. It is never the same. It is not just some vehicle that takes me from point A to point B. It's it became, and I feel like it is still my everything. It's still I still thrive, and I still dream of buying a van or a new car to explore and experience life in a different way. That makes me so happy, you know. Um, so yeah, I think that's we're gonna end off those questions. And as usual, let's go ahead and go into our quick updates on my life and that stuff. Oh, bit cheap, bright. I think that's okay. So a little update on myself. I think honestly for everybody, I'm not sure if I said this the week before. I think everyone has had a rough couple of weeks. Oh my god. Like I feel like I don't know what it is. This Mercury and Mercury Mercury in the microwave. I don't know what it is. But yo, it's been a hard ass two couple of weeks for everybody that I know. Honestly, I think no one has left the battlefield of these 2 weeks unscathed. um, and myself included. And I feel like when it comes to these moments like these, I feel like it's better to just run through it. Just don't try to avoid it. You know, the people who try to avoid it, those are the ones who like really end up like fuck, like really distraught, you know? And so that's my own take. But it's been a rough couple of weeks. But I felt I'm leaving these 2 weeks. I'm feeling a little bit more motivated, and I finally went to go visit a gym. As I said before, I think I've said it before. I've had a little bit of a struggle with attending physically a gym and working out. I've had not had a good experience in the past, and knowing a little bit more the mentality of the people here, as we are all different. The culture here is different too. I also am learning more of that, and so it wasn't really. I didn't feel super welcoming to join a gym, and not feel judged. But at the end of the day, you're gonna feel judged regardless, and you are going to be judged. But the feeling judged part, you gotta get over. Um, and I've been here a couple months now, and I bought myself a yoga mat, and I bought these weights ish that are really light. Um, and I've done a couple of workouts every a couple of times a week with it, but now at this point, I need to level up, and I really, really miss my treadmill. Like, I miss my treadmill so fucking much, like my routine about going to a treadmill and like going to the gym and the routine of going to the gym. I miss it so, so much. And so I finally pushed myself to go visit a gym. Went to go ask for prices, and I went to go look at the place, and eh, I really miss my good life. A good life is a brand of gym memberships across Canada, and I really miss it. Yeah. The gym that I went to go visit to go see, it's not very far from here, from my place, about 10-minute walk. Um, it has probably like half a dozen treadmills, and it's got weights and stuff like that too. It wasn't very, very big. Um, it was pretty though. But I mean, the washroom was really tiny too, and they had one shower. So not that I would necessarily go there to take a shower, 'cause whatever. Um, but I was even asking the girl. Her name was Sophia too. And I was like, what time around is like nobody here? And she was like, mostly in the mornings. And I was like, fuck. Fucking shit. So I have about 2 hours in the morning, quote unquote free, before work. And so I gotta go. Like, I gotta, fuck, wake up in the morning, man. Like, I have done that before for the gym. But it's been like an every so often kind of thing, not like a permanent sustainable choice. And I'm trying to tell myself, okay, if I go at least 1 or 2 times in the morning and I get myself familiarized with the machines, maybe I can go in the afternoon after work. So I think that's my plan. But I've taken a big step. I went physically to the gym to go visit. Have I gone to work out yet? No, I have not. Um, and the prices here are about the same that I'm paying in Canada, so it's not that big a thing, especially with the difference. Um, uh, how am I gonna? I was saying Spanish, conveniencia. Whatever. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I've been making the excuse because I guess I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. It's something new, technically, and I've been out of it, out of the routine, and I've noticed myself. I'm like getting tired of walking sometimes because I walk fast. Um, and I'm like, damn, my legs are throbbing right now. Like, I'm like, fuck. Then I used to be like, I'm like huffing and puffing at 20 minutes walking, like fast walking, and like before I'd be lasting, bro. Like, I'd be on that treadmill for an hour, hour and a half. You know, different speeds, high incline, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm about that. I love that shit. And now I'm getting tired of going up a flight of stairs. I'm on the seventh floor, and I'm like, and it's one time this week, the elevator was someone didn't fucking close it properly. So if you don't close it properly, it won't go down. And I had my groceries. I had 2 bags of groceries, yo. It was like a fresh refresh of that week. So I had heavy shit, and I was like clicking the button. I was like, "What the fuck is? Tell me like, give me like a different code on the screen, on the small little screen." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And the guy, because I had one guy waiting for me, and I was like, because I had my headphones on, and I was like, "How long have you been here?" Like I was like literally waiting. He's like, the same as like I arrived like a minute before you did. He was, I'm just gonna start walking. And I was like looking at my bags and I was like, fuck. Should I wait a little bit more? And I was like, fuck. So I had to go with the 2 bags of groceries, all these 7 flights of stairs, you know? And I was like, when I reached the elevator, where it was stuck at, because it was stuck on the 6th floor. And I literally opened and closed, and I was like, you motherfuckers. I was like, yo, fucking pendejos. I was like, oh my God, why you gotta fucking do this shit? You gotta hear. Because when the doors open and it's not closed properly, you hear a beeping. You probably heard it in the audio. You hear a beeping, and I'm like, how you? There's even times that I'm working here, and I'm just working, you know, living my day, and consistently hear that beeping because someone didn't close it properly. And I think it's always the 6th floor. I think there's like an old lady in the 6th floor. That's my assumption. I'm trying to think of the benefit, give the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, maybe it's an older lady who cannot hear and doesn't realize it, or else I'm gonna get upset. So I'm glad I'm gonna go to the gym. I told the girl I'm gonna come this morning or tomorrow morning, and I'm already so tired as fuck. So I don't fucking know. But we'll see. But yeah, now let's go ahead and into our weekly tarot card. I think this is so fun. I don't know how I can say it enough. See, can you hear the baby right now? Someone's going up in the elevator. All right. I have my handy dandy little cards here that I got from Victoria, BC. That place is so fucking beautiful. So fucking beautiful. But cover your ears. I mean, I usually lower the volume for you guys on the shuffling, so I don't think it's a necessity to say cover your ears because I go back and edit these videos for your pleasure. I do watch girls. I mean, I do watch tarot readings online, and they don't do what I do. I don't know if it's because they don't want to edit, but I at least fucking issue. It doesn't take me that long. So I mean, I enjoy editing videos. I honestly do. I enjoy the whole process, making the thumbnail, and I enjoy it. And I love seeing like the progression of like uh I feel like how good I'm getting. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm a toot toot. So I think it's just so fucking fun. I've loved it since I think forever. I mean, high school really brought that out of me. And I said it many times before. I think I learned so much more in high school than in university. What a fucking bloody waste of fucking money. It just gave me the fucking title, and if it wasn't for that title, I wouldn't be working the job I have now. So, again, life works in mysterious ways. But Espiritu, I'm gonna cut the cards. What do we need to hear right now regarding this topic? Honestly, I think it was just so. I want to get back to it so fucking bad. Yeah, there's a fucking party outside. Like I'm so confused what's going on here. It's a Tuesday night, Tuesday evening. What y'all doing? I live clear in downtown near schools, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, I think it's vacay. I don't know. I don't know. But regarding this topic today, in regards to a home in wheels, honestly, a home on wheels. What do we need to hear today? Oh my god, my battery's running low. We gotta hurry this fucking up. Spirit, tell me something quickly. Okay, it came out. It came out. It came out. We got the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Can you say it? Can you say it? Now let's take a look at this quickly because I'm stressing. Seven of Pentacles. Business and trade. Oh. Okay, regarding this topic, business and trade. Give me a second. Regarding this topic, I'm thinking back to the question of like, what would Antonia, my car, my RIP car, think about? What would she say in the last couple of years of my travels? And um, and it's funny that this card says business or and trade because I feel like she would say to me, "Bitch, you're here because of me." I think that's what my card would say. Especially with this card, I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I wouldn't become an artist. I wouldn't be comfortable in my own voice if it wasn't for her. I'm literally making my voice, my lifestyle, um, and my words become my business. It literally is my business, and uh, and I'm in love. And I think it's a sign of appreciation for the things that help you get to the places where you want to be. Whether also with this apartment too, like this apartment has given me so much and has taken me so far. Um, and yeah, I am grateful for this apartment because it has helped me get me where I want to be too. And I think for the viewer watching, if you are watching, is to take a moment and reflect on the things that help you get to point A to point B, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, in any kind of sense. And this, especially with these cards too, like tarot cards also help you sometimes get to point A to point B in regards to your thought process. At least the way that I think of it. So I think that's really beautiful. Take a moment and uh, and do that. I think that's what I'm taking right now. Legitimately, because this guy's got a cane and he reached the bush of all the pentacles and stuff like that. It looks like he's been walking. So without that cane, maybe he needed it to get to the point A, point B to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Not me. um, hopefully my battery is gonna run now. 3%. Fuck. Okay. Oh, my word of the day. Yo, honestly, I didn't think about one. I didn't think about one. Um, you guys hear that? You know what? Honestly, the word of the day is not even a word. It's an emotion. It's the yelling and screaming. I don't know what they're yelling and screaming about, but with all the fucking World Cup and shit, and all the stuff that's been going on, and all the speculations with Argentina, I think it's time to give a shout out for how good it's been. How good it's been. Let's give a shout out. I think it's a little bit personal to me. I don't know, but but you know, I'm gonna leave it like that because I'm stressing with this minute. Am I at 2%? What am I at? 2%. All right. I know. I'm so sorry, guys. This video has been so weird. Almost no lighting. There's so much people coming outside. Like I'm so confused. What is going on? Like I'm so confused. Maybe someone graduated. 'Cause sometimes they do that. But God bless. Thank you so much for watching this channel, watching the episode. Dios mío, por Dios. And I'll see you in the next episode of Phil Sophia and in the next episode of Sophia on the Road. I'm so excited. Next week, we're on to a very special fucking. I mean, they're all fucking special. But I'm just. Winnipeg? Oh my god, Winnipeg is just fucking so fun as fuck. So fun as fuck. Alright. God bless everybody. And thanks.